Good morning. This is the VSA Morning Mine on Thursday, the 15th of December. I, David Scriven, am with Ollie O'Donnell. How are you, sir?
Hi, David. Yeah, all good, thanks. How are you doing?
Not too bad. The snowmen are still in situ out there when I gave you that igloo commentary yesterday. Anyways, moving on. I noted that Pilbara received a 3.2% cut in the auction price of spodumene concentrate, and the stock dropped 15%. However, I would point out that it's fairly fair to say that the consensus forward 24-month guidance for EBITDA is 6.1 times versus the ASX at 4.1. So you could argue that the valuation is a little bit stretched, and they have had a really good run of 97% since June the 30th. Anyways, to news in the UK, Horizonte and Tungsten I saw today.
Yeah, just on the Pilbara news, that's quite interesting, as there has been some disruption after a water leak, I think, in China, that's meant that they had to close some lithium processing capacity there. So to see prices drop while that's happened and the supply chain's disrupted is quite interesting. So perhaps there's starting to be a little more spodumene concentrate available. There's obviously a bit of a difference in the spodumene concentrate market and the lithium carbonate market, as we saw in the last cycle.
Indeed.
Yes, so Tungsten West have announced the receipt of some environmental agency permits. Obviously, previously they talked about the planning permissions that they have and the resubmission of environmental permits based on what Wolf had done before. So they're now starting to get those back. They submitted these some time ago, post IPO, but now they've got 2 out of the 4 back positively signed off by the environmental agency, so covering mining, water and waste management, and also open pit water abstraction. There's still 2 more to come in, but they're expected in Q1 2023, so fairly soon.
And I noticed that the Horizonte news was quite positive on the Araguaia project. Sorry for my pronunciation, but they secured a 10-year power contract, which seems to be in the lowest quartiles. That seems pretty encouraging.
Yeah, I think a roundup of some of the recent news there with the power, the debt drawdown, and a reconfirmation of the schedule. I think it's slightly disingenuous to say that it's on budget, having raised £70 million only a month or so ago on a 12.6% increase to the capex budget, but I guess they're now on budget with the new budget. But that said, the stock has been rallying since that raise was complete and is now back at the highs since they rolled back the stock. So I guess it's sort of in new money, but showing positive progress on the construction. I think it's nearly 30% done. You can see photos of the foundations on various parts of the processing plant. But yeah, as you say, nickel processing is fairly power intensive, so having a long-term stable power supply and contract is obviously good for visibility and maintaining their margins.
Indeed, interesting observations there. So I think because we're fairly light on news, generally speaking, unless you've got any further thoughts, we might draw it to a close here.
Yeah, that's it. I think we're getting into the Christmas period for RNSs.
Indeed. Many thanks. All the best.
Cheers, David.